Well, the process is not starting because the prosecutor hasn't been ready to start. If you recall, the prosecutor in November of 2020 said they'd be ready to go to trial in 6 months. That's almost 2 years ago since that he made that comment, and they're still not ready. They haven't finished their disclosures. They haven't done everything they're supposed to do under the rules. That's why this has been delayed. We'll be ready to go as soon as they finish giving to us everything we're entitled to get. They're supposed to give us all of the evidence they're going to produce, all of the exculpatory evidence. They haven't. Well, that's a very good question. I don't think that's a question that anybody on the defense side can answer. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be a trial that lasts longer than the Milosevic trial. But that's what the prosecutor is going to try to advance. Now, what do I think that means? I think that they're going to take every incident that took place in Kosovo in 1998 and 1999, and under a joint criminal enterprise theory, blame these 4 gentlemen. Well, they are arguing that they're doing it for the safety of these witnesses. That's the argument that they make. But there has to be some accountability for telling the defense what these witnesses are going to say and who these witnesses are. That's what I was arguing today in court. That's crucial. So they want us to make concessions about agreements on facts, on law, etc. We can't make those agreements until they give us all the evidence. There is no comparison. They was talking to they filed a document calling the KLA some secret organization. It wasn't some secret organization. It was an organization trying to liberate the Kosovo Albanians. That's what it has been. That's what it always been. But if you look at what they're doing in the indictment, and if you look at what they filed, they are squarely aiming at the KLA as an organization involved in criminal activity, when in fact what it was trying to do was liberate the Kosovo Albanians in Kosovo. At the end of the day, you have to win in the courtroom. You have to present your case in the courtroom. That's where it's going to be won and lost. I invite everybody throughout the international community to look at what's going on in this court and ask themselves whether or not it's been fair. My client and the other 3 gentlemen have been in custody since November of 2020, telling the court at the time that they were going to be in trial in 6 months. Well, here we are coming on 2 years, and we're probably not going to have a trial in the immediate future. But I invite anybody to look at how this court has conducted itself and ask themselves, is this fair? I think so, because obviously documents that are coming from Serbia are questionable. Serbia has historically been involved in false flag operations, have been involved in fabricating evidence, have been involved in fabricating witnesses. So the argument that we have made is that we're entitled to know where this evidence has come from and to question who wrote this document, when this document was written, and how you in Serbia got control of this document. Of course it is. Of course it is. That's exactly what I was arguing today in the courtroom. It's an indictment to the entire KLA. The KLA was a force that was trying to liberate and protect the Kosovo Albanians from what was happening from the Serb forces. Plain and simple. That's what they did. The SPO wants to turn it into something nefarious and bad. It was not. It was an army of liberation. It is a proposition with no factual support. ULEX, UNMIC, ICTY, local courts in Pristina. Some of these witnesses have testified 7 times in 7 different proceedings. Some of these victims 4 or 5 times. So to say that they've been waiting for 20 years is just absolutely not true and not accurate. And also, it wasn't because of these 4 gentlemen that they waited 20 years. It's not their fault that the SPO and the KSC took 20 years to get to this place, but they're paying a price for that, and they sit in jail for almost 2 years now. in a position that I don't believe is fair, and I don't even think any objective-minded person would think is fair. Absolutely, because this is a Kosovo process, and the people in Kosovo want to ensure that any process is fair. This court may be sitting in The Hague, but it is a Kosovo court. And do the people in Kosovo want a court that is unfair and is not transparent and was possibly unjust? No, they don't. So should they examine what's going on here? Should they look and see how business is being conducted in this court? Absolutely.